Every sitter I hired quit inside 2 weeks, and not one of them would tell me why. So I put a camera in my own living room. The first was a girl named Adele, 19, home from her first year of college. My kids loved her. On day 10, she texted me that she couldn't come back and didn't give a reason. I called her 4 times before she picked up. I asked if one of the boys had done something. She said no, the boys were great. I asked what it was then. Long pause. She said she just couldn't work here anymore, and she hung up and blocked me. I told my wife about it that night. Renata shrugged and said college kids are flaky. The second lasted 8 days. Yolanda, 41, 2 grown kids of her own, 11 years of experience, unshakable woman. Then I got home on a Thursday, and she was gone and my boys were on the couch by themselves watching TV. I called her right there in the kitchen. I said you can't leave 2 children alone in a house. She said she was sorry, that she couldn't explain it, and asked me not to call again. Renata said maybe the woman had something going on at home. Number 3 was a retired school nurse named Peggy. 7 days, then a 2-line email. No answer when I wrote back. Number 4 made it 9 days. My youngest cried for an hour when I told him she wasn't coming. She wouldn't look at me the morning she quit, said she'd found something else and got to her car fast. Number 5, 12 days, and at least she called me herself, said I'd been good to work for. When I asked why she was leaving, she went quiet for a while, and then said she thought it was best. Best for who? I asked. She said she was sorry again and got off the phone. Renata said we'd had bad luck and should try a different agency, and that maybe the boys were more than people expected. My boys are 7 and 4. Their teacher put a note in my oldest folder in October about how kind he is to the other kids. After the 7th one quit, I started asking a different question. Did anybody come by the house while I was at work? A woman named Corinne went completely silent on me when I asked that. I said, Corinne, are you there? She said she was there. I asked what happened. She said nothing happened. I asked her, please. She said she couldn't talk about it and she was sorry, and that was the end of it. 9 sitters in 14 months. So I bought a camera, the kind that looks like a smoke alarm, and I put it in the living room, and I didn't tell my wife. The new sitter was a woman named Holly. First 2 days, nothing. On the 3rd day, my phone buzzed at 12:20 with a motion alert. Renata was supposed to be at the clinic until 5. I opened it and watched my wife come through my own front door. Holly stood up off the couch and said hi, and said she didn't know anybody was coming home. Renata didn't answer her. She just stood there looking at her. Then she told her she was going to quit this job. Holly said, excuse me. Renata said you're going to quit, and you're not going to tell my husband why. She said she knew where Holly lived. She said she knew Holly's sister worked at the pharmacy on 3rd. She said if a single word got back to me, she'd make sure Holly never worked with children in this county again. Holly nodded. She got her bag and she went out that door fast. I sat in the break room at work with my hand over my mouth and watched it 3 times. I understood then why they all quit. I did not understand why she wanted them gone. Then I kept watching the footage. After Holly left, my wife went out to the garage and opened a plastic tool case on the shelf over the freezer, the one I'd never had a reason to touch. She took something out, looked at it, put it back, and locked it. That night after she went to bed, I found the key in the pocket of a coat she never wears. Inside that case, there was a life insurance policy on me for $1.5 million, dated in February, with my signature on the last page. I have never seen that document in my life, and the signature isn't mine. There was a prepaid phone. There was a printout of my shift schedule with my drive home marked, and a note about the curve on Rock Hill where the guardrail ends. And there was a receipt, dated 11 days earlier, from a shop 2 towns over. Front brake work on my truck. I have never taken my truck anywhere but Delvin's on 4th. I photographed all of it and drove to the sheriff's office at 2 in the morning. They arrested her Thursday. The inspector who went over my truck told me the work on it wasn't repair work.